Since you all haven't been listening to us, we're turning the volume up. This is pressure.
You only hear us when it's trending, when the culture's hot, when it pays.
But the plan is sacred, healing, versatile, not a talking point you use for a day.
Hemp, cannabis, marijuana, one plant, one truth. No GMO, but just what the earth grew.
Ask who benefits from keeping people in chains when corporations profit off the same thing they blame.
If you won't hear us when we speak it, then we'll make sure you feel the sound.
Not for noise, but for the truth now. We're applying pressure to the ground.
One voice, one sound, let it rise right now.
If you haven't been listening, hear us loud. This is not a photo op, not symbolic ground.
Pressure squad, advocacy in action. One voice, one sound.
You talk freedom when it's profitable, talk healing when it's hot, but you don't respect the roots of it, and that's where the truth gets lost. Life sentences for a plant that grows free, while big corporations make billions legally. So we name it, we don't dodge it, we stand our ground. Truth don't whisper forever, sometimes it gets loud.
From Busy Bee to Ebenezer, history left a trail. Rooms where courage gathered, where justice would prevail.
Now the bookstore gallery holds that same sacred space, a freedom hub for advocacy, for truth we won't erase.
One voice, one sound. Feel the system, feel the push.
This ain't talk, this is action, this is pressure applied in full.
Hands steady, hearts rooted, feet on common ground. Unified in purpose. One voice, one sound.
The volume's up. The pressure stays on.
One voice, one sound. One voice, one sound.
The movement lives. Yeah. Since you all haven't been listening to us, we're turning the volume up. This is pressure.
You only hear us when it's trending, when the culture's hot, when it pays.
But the plan is sacred, healing, versatile, not a talking point you use for a day.
Hemp, cannabis, marijuana, one plant, one truth. No GMO, but just what the earth grew.
Ask who benefits from keeping people in chains when corporations profit off the same thing they blame.
If you won't hear us when we speak it, then we'll make sure you feel the sound.
Not for noise, but for the truth now. We're applying pressure to the ground.
One voice, one sound, let it rise right now.
If you haven't been listening, hear us loud.
This is not a photo op, not symbolic ground.
Pressure squad, advocacy in action. One voice, one sound.
You talk freedom when it's profitable, talk healing when it's hot, but you don't respect the roots of it, and that's where the truth gets lost. Life sentences for a plant that grows free, while big corporations make billions legally. So we name it, we don't dodge it, we stand our ground. Truth don't whisper forever, sometimes it gets loud.
From Busy Bee to Ebenezer, history left a trail. Rooms where courage gathered, where justice would prevail.
Now the bookstore gallery holds that same sacred space, a freedom hub for advocacy, for truth we won't erase.
One voice, one sound. Feel the system, feel the push.
This ain't talk, this is action, this is pressure applied in full.
Hands steady, hearts rooted, feet on common ground. Unified in purpose. One voice, one sound.
The volume's up. The pressure stays on.
One voice, one sound. One voice, one sound.
The movement lives. Yeah. Since you all haven't been listening to us, turning the volume up. Since you all haven't been listening to us, we're turning the volume up. This is pressure.
You only hear us when it's trending, when the culture's hot, when it pays. But the plan is sacred, healing, versatile, not a talking point you use for a day.
Hemp, cannabis, marijuana, one plant, one truth. No GMO bud, just what the earth grew. Ask who benefits from keeping people in chains, while corporations profit off the same thing they blame.
If you won't hear us when we speak it, then we'll make sure you feel the sound. Not for noise, but for the truth now. We're applying pressure to the ground.
One voice, one sound, let it rise right now. If you haven't been listening, hear us loud. This is not a photo op, not symbolic ground. Pressure squad, advocacy in action. One voice, one sound.
You talk freedom when it's profitable, talk healing when it's hot, but you don't respect the roots of it. And that's where the truth gets lost. Life sentences for a plant that grows free, while big corporations make billions legally. So we name it, we don't dodge it, we stand our ground. Truth don't whisper forever, sometimes it gets loud.
Busy bee to Ebenezer, history left a trail. Rooms where courage gathered, where justice would prevail.
Now the bookstore gallery holds that same sacred space,
A freedom hub for advocacy.
for truth we won't erase. One voice, one sound.
One sound.
Feel the system, feel the push. This ain't talk, this is action. This is pressure applied in full. Hands steady, hearts rooted, feet on common ground, unified in purpose.
One voice.
One voice, one sound.
The volume's up, the pressure stays on.
One voice.
One sound, the movement lives. Since you all haven't been listening to us, we're turning the volume up. This is pressure.
You only hear us when it's trending, when the culture's hot, when it pays. But the plan is sacred, healing, versatile, not a talking point you use for a day.
Hemp, cannabis, marijuana, one plant, one truth. No GMO bud, just what the earth grew. Ask who benefits from keeping people in chains, while corporations profit off the same thing they blame.
If you won't hear us when we speak it, then we'll make sure you feel the sound. Not for noise, but for the truth now.
Hey everyone, we're getting ready to join. We're just setting up right now, so we'll see you in a second. Glad you're here.
If you haven't been listening, hear us loud. This is not a photo op, not symbolic ground. Pressure squad, advocacy in action. One voice, one sound.
You talk freedom when it's profitable, talk healing when it's hot, but you don't respect the roots of it. And that's where the truth gets lost. Life sentences for a plant that grows free, while big corporations make billions legally. So we name it, we don't dodge it, we stand our ground. Truth don't whisper forever, sometimes it gets loud.
Busy bee to Ebenezer, history left a trail. Rooms where courage gathered, where justice would prevail.
Now the bookstore gallery holds that same sacred space,
A freedom hub for advocacy.
for truth we won't erase. One sound.
One sound.
Feel the system, feel the push. This ain't talk, this is action. This is pressure applied in full. Hands steady, hearts rooted, feet on common ground, unified in purpose.
One voice.
One voice, one sound.
The volume's up, Since you all haven't been listening to us, we're turning the volume up. This is pressure.
You only hear us when it's trending, when the culture's hot, when it pays. But the plant is sacred, healing, versatile, not a talking point you use for a day.
Hemp, cannabis, marijuana, one plant, one truth. No GMO bud, just what the earth grew. Ask who benefits from keeping people in chains, while corporations profit off the same thing they blame.
If you won't hear us when we speak it, then we'll make sure you feel the sound. Not for noise, but for the truth now. We're applying pressure to the ground.
One voice, one sound, let it rise right now. If you haven't been listening, hear us loud. This is not a photo op, not symbolic ground. Pressure squad, advocacy in action. One voice, one sound.
You talk freedom when it's profitable, talk healing when it's hot, but you don't respect the roots of it, and that's where the truth gets lost. Life sentences for a plant that grows free, while big corporations make billions legally. So we name it, we don't dodge it, we stand our ground. Truth don't whisper forever, sometimes it gets loud.
Busy bee to Ebenezer, history left a trail. Rooms where courage gathered, where justice would prevail.
Now the bookstore gallery holds that same sacred space, a freedom hub for advocacy, for truth we won't erase. One voice, one sound. Feel the system, feel the push. This ain't talk, this is action. This is pressure applied in full. Hands steady, hearts rooted, feet on common ground, unified in purpose.
One voice,
One sound.
The volume's up, the pressure stays on.
one voice.
One sound, the movement lives. Since you all haven't been listening to us, we're turning the volume up. This is pressure.
You only hear us when it's trending, when the culture's hot, when it pays. But the plant is sacred, healing, versatile, not a talking point you use for a day.
Hemp, cannabis, marijuana, one plant, one truth. No GMO bud, just what the earth grew. Ask who benefits from keeping people in chains, while corporations profit off the same thing they blame.
If you won't hear us when we speak it, then we'll make sure you feel the sound. Not for noise, but for the truth now. We're applying pressure to the ground.
One voice, one sound, let it rise right now. If you haven't been listening, hear us loud. This is not a photo op, not symbolic ground. Pressure squad, advocacy in action. One voice, one sound.
You talk freedom when it's profitable, talk healing when it's hot, but you don't respect the roots of it, and that's where the truth gets lost. Life sentences for a plant that grows free, while big corporations make billions legally. So we name it, we don't dodge it, we stand our ground. Truth don't whisper forever, sometimes it gets loud.
Busy bee to Ebenezer, history left a trail. Rooms where courage gathered, where justice would prevail.
Now the bookstore gallery holds that same sacred space, a freedom hub for advocacy, for truth we won't erase. One voice, one sound. Feel the system, feel the push. This ain't talk, this is action. This is pressure applied in full. Hands steady, hearts rooted, feet on common ground, unified in purpose.
One voice,
One sound.
The volume's up, the pressure stays on.
one voice.
Since you all haven't been listening to us, we're turning the volume up. This is pressure.
You only hear us when it's trending, when the culture's hot, when it pays. But the plant is sacred, healing, versatile, not a talking point you use for a day.
Hemp, cannabis, marijuana, one plant, one truth. No GMO.
Oh, thank you, Corey. Oh my God, you are just amazing. Most of the time, I play.
If you won't hear us when we speak it,
You got it?
then we'll make sure
I'm just trying to
you
get
feel
it back
the
up.
sound. Not for noise,
I'm trying to see what's
for the
going on
truth
with this.
now. We're applying pressure to the ground.
One voice, one sound.
I dropped the mic down. I dropped the tell the camera to. I'm sorry. Add the prices.
This is not a photo op, not symbolic ground.
You know what? I know what to do.
Advocacy in action. One voice, one sound.
You talk freedom when it's profitable. Talk healing when it's hot. But you don't respect the roots of it. And that's where the truth gets lost. Life sentences for a plant that grows free, while big corporations make billions legally. So we name it, we don't dodge it, we stand our ground. Truth don't whisper forever, sometimes it gets loud.
Busy bee to Ebenezer, history left a trail. Rooms where courage gathered, where justice would prevail.
Now the bookstore gallery holds that same sacred space,
A freedom hub for advocacy.
for truth we won't erase. One voice, one sound.
One sound.
Feel the system, feel the push. This ain't talk, this is action. This is pressure applied in full. Hands steady, hearts rooted. Feet on common ground, unified in purpose.
One voice,
One voice,
one sound.
The volume's up, the pressure stays on.
One voice,
One sound, the movement lives. Since you all haven't been listening to us, we're turning the volume up. This is pressure.
You only hear us when it's trending, when the culture's hot, when it pays. But the plant is sacred, healing, versatile, not a talking point you use for a day.
Hemp, cannabis, marijuana, one plant, one truth. No GMO bud, just what the earth grew. Ask who benefits from keeping people in chains, while corporations profit off the same thing they blame.
If you won't hear us when we speak it, then we'll make sure you feel the sound. Not for noise, but for the truth now. We're applying pressure to the ground.
one voice, one sound. Let it rise right now. If you haven't been listening, hear us loud. This is not a photo op, not symbolic ground. Pressure squad, advocacy in action. One voice, one sound.
You talk freedom when it's profitable. Talk healing when it's hot. But you don't respect the roots of it. And that's where the truth gets lost. Life sentences for a plant that grows free, while big corporations make billions legally. So we name it, we don't dodge it, we stand our ground. Truth don't whisper forever, sometimes it gets loud.
Busy bee to Ebenezer, history left a trail. Rooms where courage gathered, where justice would prevail.
Now the bookstore gallery holds that same sacred space,
A freedom hub for advocacy.
for truth we won't erase. One voice, one sound.
One sound.
Feel the system, feel the push. This ain't talk, this is action. This is pressure applied in full. Hands steady, hearts rooted. Feet on common ground, unified in purpose.
One voice,
One voice,
one sound.
The volume's up, the pressure stays on.
One voice,
one sound, the movement lives. Since you all haven't been listening to us, we're turning the volume up. This is pressure.
You only hear us when it's trending, when the culture's hot, when it pays. But the plant is sacred, healing, versatile, not a talking point you use for a day.
Hemp, cannabis, marijuana, one plant, one truth. No GMO bud, just what the earth grew. Ask who benefits from keeping people in chains, while corporations profit off the same thing they blame.
If you won't hear us when we speak it, then we'll make sure you feel the sound. Not for noise, but for the truth now. We're applying pressure to the ground.
One voice, one sound, let it rise right now. If you haven't been listening, hear us loud. This is not a photo op, not symbolic ground. Pressure squad, advocacy in action. One voice, one sound.
You talk freedom when it's profitable, talk healing when it's hot, but you don't respect the roots of it, and that's where the truth gets lost. Life sentences for a plant that grows free, while big corporations make billions legally. So we name it, we don't dodge it, we stand our ground. Truth don't whisper forever, sometimes it gets loud.
Busy bee to Ebenezer, history left a trail. Rooms where courage gathered, where justice would prevail.
Now the bookstore gallery holds that same sacred space, a freedom hub for advocacy, for truth we won't erase. One voice, one sound,
One sound,
feel the system, feel the push. This ain't talk, this is action. This is pressure applied in full. Hands steady, hearts rooted, feet on common ground, unified in purpose.
one voice,
One voice, one sound.
The volume's up, the pressure stays on.
one voice.
One sound, the movement lives. Since you all haven't been listening to us, we're turning the volume up. This is pressure.
You only hear us when it's trending, when the culture's hot, when it pays. But the plant is sacred, healing, versatile, not a talking point you use for a day.
Hemp, cannabis, marijuana, one plant, one truth. No GMO bud, just what the earth grew. Ask who benefits from keeping people in chains, while corporations profit off the same thing they blame.
If you won't hear us when we speak it, then we'll make sure you feel the sound. Not for noise, but for the truth now. We're applying pressure to the ground.
One voice, one sound, let it rise right now. If you haven't been listening, hear us loud. This is not a photo op, not symbolic ground. Pressure squad, advocacy in action.
Hey, y'all, we are here. We are getting ready to come online. We are so sorry, and thank you all for hanging in there. We had some technical difficulties. However, we're getting ready to come on right about now. I know y'all are sick of this song. I didn't get a chance to get back over here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me stop this. And here we go. Let's go. Where? Let me find the screen thing. All right. So, hey, y'all. Let's see. Let me get the camera right. Okay, that's Aviva. Let me buzz out. Okay. Welcome to GreenScapes Legislative Lookout. And right now, we are supposed to be doing something else as far as the timing, and we're going to have to cut this short. So the presentation that you are about to see is the presentation from, we're going to be able to send that out. So if you have registered for this event, we will send the registration out to you all afterwards. So go ahead and click the StreamYard link so that you will be able to, I'm sorry. So I'm multitasking. So you'll be able to
get a copy of the presentation.
That's right. Thank you. Go ahead and do the introduction while I get this, because hey.
So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Georgia GreenScapes Legislative Lookout. And I'm Angela Weston, co-founder and director of education for the Georgia Medical Cannabis Society. So tonight's briefing is about clarity, context, and preparation. And we're here to look at what happened during the legislative year, how it impacted real people, and what it signals as we prepare for 2026.
Okay. All right, let me share. Let me go ahead and take this out of here. Okay, here we go. I can go ahead and click this. Look, it's been a rough day, and we already know what it's like. Atlanta traffic. Don't we just love it? All right, let's go to the next slide. There it goes, slide. Okay. And okay, here we go. All right. Here's the introduction. Okay, we're here. Okay. All right. So we're going to move forward. So we did the introduction. So we're going to the next thing. Go to the next thing. We're going to go ahead and share the list of the bills that we already have. And right now, the purpose of this briefing is to go ahead and let you all know what the past legislation of 2025, 2026 has progressed here or not progressed here in Georgia. So I got to get my running show. There are several bills that we do have a complete pamphlet and breakdown for you all, just as long as you sign up for the, oh, it's not turning. Let me find the broadcast link. Stop sharing. Just talk, fill in, please. I'm just trying, yeah, just do that for me. Yeah, just share me. I got the wrong share there.
So basically, we're basically looking at the bills for 2025 that's going into 2026. And so, as you know, that if a bill doesn't pass in 1 year, you have another year to work on that bill. So it'll die if it does not pass legislation or get voted on and pass legislation this year in 2026. So what we're hoping on is looking at some of these bills to expand the program that we have in Georgia, and also add some other elements that would make the program a more robust program, such as smokables. So that's inhalables. Thank you.
But while we're here, I tell you what we can do. Let's go ahead and start on this side over here. Y'all go ahead and introduce yourself, and I promise I should have this up in just a second.
Mary said she can't hear or see anything.
Who can't?
She can't hear us.
Mary.
Oh, you know why? You know why she can't?
No, that may be a Mary problem.
You know why? Here we go. Okay, here we go. Gotcha. This is why you all couldn't hear us. I am so sorry. I forgot to plug in the mic with all the technical difficulties. So you know that, look, we are a grassroots organization. And if you are into any type of video production or anything like that, we need interns. So we're going to go ahead and knock that on out the box right there so that we can move forward with this. So you can go ahead and do the introduction again. We're going to start from our left and move on down.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Jessica Baskerville. I'm an event planner and marketer down here in Atlanta. And while I work in our industries, I specialize in cannabis. So we can try to bring the plant education everywhere it needs to be. Thank you for having me, GMCS.
Thank you for being a part of the squad.
Hey,
Rise up.
Put the pressure on.
Apply pressure. That's what we do.
So my name is Omari Anderson, and I'm wearing two hats today. I am the CEO and founder of the Best Dirty Lemonade, but I'm also the political director of Peachtree Normal, Normal's local arm working here in the state of Georgia.
Okay, we on you, Angela.
And I'm Angela Weston. I'm co-founder of the Georgia Medical Cannabis Society. As a co-founder and director of education for the Georgia Medical Cannabis Society. And we have,
you can introduce me because I'm still trying to get
Yolanda
the presentation
Bennett, who's
going.
the other co-founder, and she's our director of operations, advocacy, and social justice.
Doing the AV and audio
Yeah,
visual.
she's
Multitasking, and I know we had a better view before, but like I say, we getting ready to join in. And like I say, hey,
That's when I meet with Corey.
Corey, I thought she said something.
And
Viva.
Anna
Viva.
Yes, I'm Corey Lowe, Executive Director of Peachtree Normal, and coming in hot is Aviva,
She coming in hot.
the Georgia Hemp.
Economic Revival Organization, and my band, Aviva and the Flying Penguins.
No, I didn't name drop any.
All right. That's one.
Alicia said there was like an echo, so I don't know if it's from.
Yeah, it's the room.
Okay.
It's the room, and actually, we might need to bring that box out. Sorry
The one I
about.
had earlier.
Yes, isn't that thing? And sorry about the echo. Like I say, this is all new, but you know what? This is our first run here. Usually, we are working inside of the home studio.
Well, I do want to give a big shout out on that note to the Bookstore Gallery.
Oh
Thank you
yes,
so much,
yes.
Bookstore Gallery, for hosting this session and for being a home base for what we're trying to do here, with cannabis and legislation in Georgia. So if you haven't ever been to the Bookstore Gallery, they have two locations, one on Nelson Street right here by the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then we have the other location on Edgewood. So make sure you look it up when you're here in Atlanta.
Oh, yes, for sure. And that was one thing that we paid homage. And I know you all have been listening to that song over and over and over again. But this book, the Bookstore Gallery, is kind of like the hub of advocacy. And they welcome quite a few people here. It's quite a few people that's come through the doors here at the Bookstore Gallery.
The bookstore has definitely been a centerpiece since we've been in this community. I think that was one of the first locations that I learned about, when I really got deeply involved in cannabis, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. So appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got it right here. And here we go. I think I got the right one. And let's get it. And okay, let's put this one right here. Okay, we're adding to the stage. All right, we are here. So what we're going to do is share the legislation bills that we do have already that's on there for 2026. There were 26, it was actually 27 bills, but now I don't know what happened. One of them may have fallen off because it was from the previous legislation year. And that dealt with cottage food, the cottage food dealing with edibles and, ingestibles with infusions of hemp and the legal hemp. So in a sense, it does appear to protect those who would like to create the home goods. I'm trying, where did I lose that camera? And go ahead and start reading off some of the bills, and you can go down the list and you all can just pass them down. And it was the HB 227. Now, this is a medical cannabis bill. I'm trying, I am so sorry. I want to
One
apologize.
question that I have for people who may not know where to access this information, I know it's available on the GMCS website, and that stands for Georgia Medical Cannabis Society, if you guys didn't already know. It's available for them to access on the GMCS website, or where can they access
What they can,
information?
This information will be on our for this year, so that we can continue to maintain our order with our organization. It's going to actually be on our Substack channel, and that's GMCS 710. And you can subscribe. There will be a basic tier to where you could just get the list without the breakdowns, because with Georgia GreenScapes, we've had the opportunity to have Georgia GreenScapes on our LinkedIn platform, which is an article that breaks down quite a few of the articles on, it breaks down the articles on the site. So, but yeah, let's see, am I at the right one?
So how did I get to the Substack?
The Substack, you got to go to the Substack station.
Or Angela, I don't mean to bother you, Yolanda, why you?
Just go ahead and just.
Think about, she's an operations person, so who sets up all these things. Before we done, we can actually.
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to do. Thanks,
you can see that she's the one who does most of the operations information, and also, and that's why we definitely need interns to help with some of the back end and the videography and the technical. We say we are grassroots and we do everything ourselves, so we do need that help.
So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in. Go follow GMCS on YouTube, GMCS TV.
Okay, we're moving. Gotcha. Okay. All right, y'all. So this presentation will be available for you all. All you have to do is register. So we are where we're supposed to be now. Let's go back. Okay. There were 27 bills basically from 2024, which was the 2023 and the 2024 legislation session. And one, like I was speaking of, the cottage food, which is the HB 368, that particular bill did get signed into law last year. These are 25 bills that are still unresolved. We have our core policy areas that we have here at the, let me go ahead and bring this full screen. We do have our core areas. The core policy areas addressed include medical cannabis access, hemp, THC, regulations, civil rights, and criminal justice, and the formation of the study committees. These are the bills that were signed into law. That cottage bill right there that we were speaking about, I had it wrong. It is actually HB 398. That's the cottage food at the 388. Yeah, HB 398. Now, if you want a complete listing of this legislation and the bills and stuff that we've talked about, you can go to, make sure you sign up on the StreamYard link that I'm getting ready to add to the chat in just a second. So, but then we have SB 79. It's a fentanyl bill. Now, with this fentanyl bill, the only thing that we have issue with is it that they classify and include marijuana, cannabis, whatever you want to call it, but the language in there wants to go ahead and incarcerate some people. So if somebody can turn to SB 79 in the study packet, we also have a study packet available for these different bills, and that will also be included on the Substack channel.
SB 79.
Okay, let's go back to SB 79. Go ahead and read that for us.
Okay. So the status shown of that one is from May 12th, 2025. And so that one, let's see, It's the fentanyl bill, and it was actually signed. Fentanyl Eradication and Removal Act status. So this basically bill is the rapid talking points I would say on this one's public safety, framing influences all controlled substances debates. The marijuana reference highlights bundling of substances and statuses, and it's use it to bridge to harm reduction and patient discussion.
Okay, we just fixed the audio. When we came back, I actually had the audio on the camera, so we really and truly apologize for the sound. Is the sound better? That's probably what happened. So we're going to the next one, and the next, that's the cottage food bill, and we're going to get to the medical cannabis bills that are still alive. Is the sound better? I am so sorry about that, because okay, cool. Look, we totally like, hey, we're here. So this is what you all came for. SB 220, Putting Georgia's Patients First Act. So if anybody has any questions or anything you want to elaborate on that, Aviva, you did testify about this past session. I want you to go ahead and share your concerns with this, because I do believe you spoke about the MCT oils in here that is already currently being utilized in the medical cannabis products we have.
There are several things I'm concerned with when it comes to being restricted to the medical cannabis products that are available to our patients. One of them is actually neotame, which is like aspartame on crack. I've been told it's a sweetener that might not be so good for you. So another thing is the MCT oil. There has been some concern that when it's heated up, it also can be very toxic for the body. Also, over time, anything that has a seed oil in it, besides being out of someone's diet or an allergy, it can degrade and even get rancid, and I don't know if there's expiration dates on all of these products, and we need to be aware of it, especially because there's not enough dispensaries, so they've had to keep product on the shelf to survive, right? If they're not getting it out there. And so I want to know if they're disposing of it. We know that 494 has been very strict with the hemp companies, and I don't think there's been a parallel with the medical cannabis dispensaries, unfortunately, as far as being restrictive. And so besides the sugar and the seed oils, cannabis itself degrades in every single way that you refine it, except for the natural flower. If you have natural flower dried on the shelf, it pretty much stays and preserves its integrity with the THC or the CBG or whatever is in it. Whereas if you make a product out of it, you don't know what it's degrading into. I mean, it could degrade into inferior cannabinoids for the particular patient, right? If you are someone who is using it for depression, you might not want a certain level of CBN or THCP or whatever it might degrade into. So that needs to be looked at as well. You can test it in the lab, right after you put it on the shelf, but what about 3 months down the line?
Exactly. I really agree with you, because I know when the program first started, when they actually got those dispensaries open after we had already been paying for a medical cannabis card ever since 2019, when they first got the processing with the HB 324. We actually been paying for it for all those years, and we finally got a dispensary however many years later. And I know our first experience at the medical cannabis dispensaries, you were right. I'm glad you brought up about the expiration dates and the safety, because that's our concern. So we want to ensure that patients are safe. We're going to move forward to the next bill, HB 227. All righty. Go ahead and read the blurb on that, someone, if you got it there.
HB 227 serves as the House. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
It was referred to, it expands medical cannabis access. It was referred to the Senate on February 28, 2025, and continues to be under consideration.
All right.
The main point of that bill was to change the program's name to low THC oil to medical cannabis.
And that's really important. So people are going to see this and think, what's the big deal? We can't get inhalables in the state of Georgia if the program is based on low THC oil, right? And also, right, even if we don't get inhalables, which would be a travesty this legislative session, we also need to get reasonable THC levels in our oils, right? Yeah, let me not preach here, but
Go ahead.
I do think that HB 227 is very important if we can get some legislators on our side and really taking this issue at heart.
Chairman Dickey is spearheading the bill, and he mentioned that one of the main reasons why it's important is because there's such a low registry, because people think it's just low THC oil, and they don't want that.
And also too, with it, with the inhalables, I would say, one of the things that I was actually bringing up was there are some conditions where there are people who cannot metabolize oil. And so if they're not able to metabolize the oil, what do they do?
Is that Edoblock?
I cannot, right off the hand, I cannot remember of it, but they cannot metabolize MCT oil. And so that with that condition, that's when the inhalables actually come into play, where they would actually be able to use those as opposed to the low dose THC oil that
And
we
we've
have.
been teaching the legislators that doesn't just mean smoking. It actually, there's a vaporization tool as well where you can steam it.
Yeah, there's a device called the Volcano, and that Volcano device actually, it doesn't use combustion as in fire, but it's more of a dry heat. And one of the good caveats to using the Volcano is after they've decarbed the flower, they're able to use that flower to make their edibles, their teas, and what have you. So especially for any patient that's an indigent patient who needs to wash their pennies, I would say, that allows them to be able to utilize the flower after it's decarbed because you haven't burned it.
And it's very clean.
Very clean, very clean. And it's much better for you. And it's actually in places like the UK, they're able to get that device via insurance.
Wow. And that's something that they just add. So you just spoke about that, about the CBD oil that is going to be covered by Medicare. We'll talk about that later. They just added that to a new notice that, we'll talk about that. Okay, because we're doing this. Yeah, okay. Multitasking. Okay, now this bill right here is one that I absolutely love. Let's see. Can you go ahead and take this blurb?
So this is HB 440, providing effective access to cannabis for health. It's the PEACH Act. The PEACH Act focuses on removing barriers to medical cannabis access for patients. Currently, it's at the House's second reader stage and is eligible for movement in 2026.
And with this particular bill, lead sponsor is Representative David Clark. He is championing this bill right here. And this is just like a great bill, and it actually turns it into a medical cannabis program and everything like that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move forward.
Hold on. Is it possible for Aviva to talk about what the second reader stage means? Because I don't want people to hear that and not understand how.
Okay, guys.
What's on the screen? Please explain.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
I actually have. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Has it been assigned to a committee? Does that mean it hasn't been assigned to a committee?
It hasn't been assigned to a committee. So
Yeah.
basically they read it again so that they can go ahead and move forward with the, I'm looking for my other notes with that. So as
opposed to when a legislator drops a new bill, like is happening this year, we're gonna have some very nice legislation dropped. It also needs to be read twice before it's given a number.
but let's just hope it doesn't go to a subcommittee to see whether or not it can move forward to a full committee.
Okay.
So that's another thing.
Those are some of the tricks
And
that
I
I can play.
would just like to say, I really hope that the speaker looks at urban affairs as one of the committees that some of these bills should be put in.
Yes.
Is constantly regulated industries and agriculture, which makes sense, but urban affairs covers anything in the metro Atlanta area, which is where it really is more of a concern for a lot of folks. 5.6 million people now. So especially when we're talking about expanding recreational or just general decriminalization, that is a really important committee. That's supposed to oversee anything recreational, public health, public safety that has to do with Metro Atlanta.
I love that.
It's the umbrella, urban umbrella. Covers it all.
Okay, and let's move on to HB 342. I'm not very familiar with this. However, this, you already know what this advertisement is, a pro and a like whatever, because for me, this is just for me, even though I put a green check there. But if you think about the Medical Cannabis Advertising Reform Act, and we already know financially who benefits from that, but then patients benefit from that too. So anybody wants to go ahead and read the blurb.
And I believe they included this in 227 or tried to include it as an amendment.
And part of our pressure play workshop, what we do with the pressure play workshop, what we do is break down some other ways and the tricks of the trade, like the 4-prong. Tell us about the 4-prong of people.
Wow.
Yeah, because you remember what they did with the.
I think it was
a 3-prong. 3-prong. I
maybe
think
we were pronged with a 4th.
Yes.
In that one. I mean, it's basically where you have 3 bills, basically, for example, like you have this medical cannabis advertising reform, you have 227, which is essentially just changing the name, and then you have 220, which is expanding the limits of the milligrams and hopefully adding inhalation. And so the 3-prong is whichever one passes over, you can add the other one to it. So if it's in the Senate and then it's in the House, you can add a bill to it. But the thing is for some reason, all it has to do is pass I don't know if it just needs to pass a committee hearing. Yes. It's still very confusing to me. I did do a video on it on my channel. And sometimes I explain things in the video that I can't reiterate because I'm just researching it in that moment. But basically, it could be any year, anywhere in the 2-year cycle, you can pick it up. So for example, I was just gonna say, it would be a nightmare. For example, SB 33 passed the Senate, okay? So if something passes the House and goes over to the Senate, they might be able to, in the Rules Committee, say, hey, we want to add SB 33 language to this bill and then send it back to the House.
Okay, so I know at this point,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like a piggyback and then pass it back
Actually,
over.
there's a term for that. It's called a rider.
That's right.
So that's what they would basically do is they would take one bill and they would allow this bill to ride on another bill. And that's another trick that they would use if they want to get something to slip it in. They'll have a bill that everybody is more familiar with, that they're ready to pass.
Everybody
We
and then
just
they'll
saw
take
that
it
on the federal level, right? That's how they had the hemp ban that's proposed. They did it with the reopening of the government,
With
right?
the appropriations bill.
So it added to the spending bill. And so this is how they essentially tried to ban hemp coming up in November.
So the 3-prong technique happened with 494. 494 initially wasn't that bad. It was just regulating it, adding 21 and up, which everyone pretty much did already, except gas stations maybe. And then the last minute, they added language from a bill that passed from the year before that, just made all flower banned pretty much.
And that's what they did. Yeah, that's what, because I remember we had, that was part of our first thing with the HB 1322. They tabled it, but they were able to remove it from the table and add it to the legislation, which they went ahead and amended it. But anyway, we're going to have to move forward because our location here, they're getting ready to close. And I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties. But this is some, we're going to run through quickly with some of the bills. We're going to do this virtually some other time or whatever. But if you want the presentation, the bill, whatever, make sure you sign up on the StreamYard link. Okay, here we go. All right, SB 33. SB 33. Who's going to talk about this one? SB 33.
I'll read it for you. So with this one, it establishes total THC concentration limits for consumable hemp products, aiming to provide clarity and safety for consumers and producers alike.
Would you say this is the federal hemp ban locally?
Exactly.
Yes,
It's the same
absolutely.
wording.
It's the same.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
It changes the definition of THC, so the farmers can't grow it essentially.
For sure, for sure. And we're going to hit this one right here because this one right here really affects our brother over here and several other people. Let's go ahead and let you go ahead and who wants to read this one?
Maury.
Okay, so this bill seeks to define milligram limits for Delta 9 THC, ensuring consistency and compliance across the state. And you know what? I've been saying this for months, right? I'm not opposed to regulation, but I want regulation that is sensible and makes sense. And I don't want it to change every year, right? Because small producers like myself, we've invested in this packaging. Actually, not even myself, right? I have a neighbor who has lost $1.5 million since the banning of THCA because he sold product, had to buy it back, and then relabel it to make sure it was compliant. I mean, regulation seems to be, done at a whim in the state house, but I really wish they really took people's concerns and really gave us a longer runway before things were enacted. Going from July to October, like we saw 2 years ago, isn't a long enough time to either get rid of product or make these necessary changes.
Now I'm going to take it a step further on that one too. I'm going to look at it from a medical standpoint. So when you think about going to your doctor and you have your pharmaceuticals that you basically are prescribed by your doctor, you have doses and you have certain milligrams for whatever you need. Now, when it comes down to prescribing something, when you're talking about a medicine for someone, they look at a number of things. Weight is one. And they look at some other things in there. But my point that I'm bringing to that is if you start putting limitations on these, you may have a patient that needs a little bit more. So if you're looking at it from that standpoint, a person would have to purchase more and more and more to be able to get the dosages that they need. So now it comes up an expense problem for someone who can barely afford it as it is.
Absolutely.
So if they have products where, and to me, it should be up to the provider how much they should be able to use. Because if your provider is working with you and you're constantly having follow-ups with them and you're having those conversations about what's working, what's not, how much more that you had to use because you're documenting what you're using, then your provider, even with your pharmaceuticals, they can increase your dosage if it's not working or decrease it if it's too much. But if you put limitations on it, you're actually limiting what the patient can basically have. And to me, that's not harm reduction.
And you're forcing them to consume.
Our camera, that camera had just gone out. So we're back. All righty. And so now we're going to go ahead and move forward to this bill right here, 265. Let's go ahead and read that right there. Who's reading?
So I'll take it again. So this bill aims to amend the existing Georgia Hemp Farming Act, focusing on improvements to farming practices and regulatory framework for hemp cultivation.
All right.
So what's the X about?
The X meaning that this right here is
A rider bill?
yeah. Okay, I meant to tell you the red X means we don't care for it. That kind of thing. So because it's some tricky language that's in there that we
like stick a screwdriver in it and screw with it.
Okay, now this one right here. There's another bill, that seeks to promote growth within the hemp industry by providing a framework for tax credits aimed in incentivizing hemp-related businesses. That sounds kind of like what they're doing with the Schedule 3. So I don't know whether or not, so we have to make sure we continue to watch Georgia because a lot of these bills are mirrored because the SB 494 is the same thing what they did with the farmers bill federally, with the HR 4121 that they started working on last year. So just make sure you check this out. We're running through them, but the ones that, okay. Now this is the bill right here. We're gonna talk about this bill, and this is something that we really and truly love. Go ahead and tell us about this one.
Yeah, So this bill, it would prevent police officers from using the scent of marijuana by itself as probable cause to justify a search of your person or your vehicle or your place. In theory, this is a great idea. Especially
They passed it in Florida. So it's like this aroma bill. So when people come up to Georgia or they go to Florida, they don't know what laws. And so it makes sense. Why wouldn't we? And like you said, they can't tell the difference between THCA and hemp.
So is hemp flower illegal to possess or is it illegal to sell?
Basically, the reason why it was in SB 494, the reason what makes it illegal, so basically they're tampering with the product because when it's raw, until you add heat to it, then it turns in, decarbs it to when it decarbs, it makes it a larger amount of THC present, which makes it illegal. So I guess that's kind of like entrapment when they light up your THCA. So it goes down to the lab and they test the different products until they go ahead and heat it up, decarb, add a flame to it. It's legal. It's legal without, it's actually legal. They might, you never know, they might be trying to run them out of business.
But what you want to try to
Apparently, is it illegal or not?
She's trying to find out.
It's not
That's a
to
different
possess
question.
CBD
To possess
flower
it.
that I'm aware of.
Okay.
because the way it's written, it's
Maybe
illegal
in
to
your
sell.
car. You
That's
might-
what I was thinking. It's illegal. I just want to make sure that anybody watching this who doesn't understand,
Well, they
just
said
so they know.
to the GBI.
if
The
they're
GBI
driving.
won't test anything under an ounce. We have a letter from the GBI said they don't have the manpower, the storage. As far as flour, anything under 28 grams of flour, they can't test it.
But that's why they moved it in SB 494. In SB 494, it turned the Agriculture Commission into basically like what the GBI does, to take some of the weight off of the GBI. So they have police power. So basically we have the anslinger effect with the agriculture. So basically they create the laws, they create the legislation, whatever, and whatever the House or the General Assembly decides to go ahead and vote into action. So yeah.
For public safety, it might be a good idea to just have it in a container that says sacrament, religious sacrament, because legally, federally, you're allowed to have religious sacrament on your person. Otherwise, it would be wise to just keep it in your house and not travel with it.
And it doesn't become illegal until become illegal until you put a flame to it.
Burn it.
But I also want to say that we are not giving legal advice.
That's
No,
right.
No.
And so you should definitely consult your local attorney,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I had an attorney tell us who came to a Peachtree Normal meeting up in Cherokee, and he said, put it in a manila folder and label it medical records, HIPAA protected.
Nice.
If you're going to travel with it in your vehicle, he's like, I'm not telling you, but I'm telling you, manila envelope, medical records, HIPAA protected.
That is so cool. That is so cool. And you know what? Thank you so much for that. And we're going to get ready to go ahead and talk about, let's see, we can go to Monday. Let's see, we got Miss Yvonne, we getting ready to shut it down in just a second.
No, I was just listening to that part about
And the medical records.
Medical records.
Oh my God.
Not that
is-
you need this information, but
Right.
Someone else might need the
Yes.
information.
All the music videos now.
Oh, wow. You know what? That makes so much sense. And we are so grateful that you shared that very important information. And like I said, we're going to be able to share this presentation and do some clips and stuff like that for each one of the bills.
You were about to show El Mahdi's bill?
Yeah, let me go back to it. You talking about 804? Okay, let me go back.
I saw it was right next to Jasmine.
Yeah.
Clark's bill.
Okay, let me go to it. Go this way. Okay, here we go. Let's take us out.
No, that one.
Okay.
804, the pardon for simple marijuana possession. HB 804 aims to provide a pathway for pardons for individuals convicted of simple marijuana possession, helping to rectify past injustices past injustices while promoting criminal justice reform.
do we know what they're considering simple marijuana possession as far as amount?
I know according to the Georgia law, anything over an ounce
It's no longer
is a felony. And so with that being a felony, that I do know for sure, that's actually on our website, the different laws about that. I don't have it on the slide right now, but we could be happy to share that information with you. But yeah.
But that seems to be pretty consistent with everything else that we've heard. A lot of these cities and localities that have done decrim already, they're using the distinction of an ounce, right? So they're saying anything less than an ounce is a ticketable offense per the police officer's discretion. I want that to be clear as well, because we've also seen in places like East Point, right, that arrest for marijuana has gone up 300% right after decriminalization. So it's still up to the police officer's discretion. And also, let's keep in mind, this is also a big revenue generator for the force. So please be careful out there if you are moving with cannabis.
Absolutely, because the Georgia, Georgia state prisons, I've shared this many times. They utilize free labor. They utilize free labor in jails. And a lot of times those offenders are the nonviolent offenders. And the nonviolent offenders usually are the ones who may have a drug abuse problem or may choose to use cannabis and get caught up.
Or have low
So
possession.
if you agree that this is a public safety issue and a health issue and a human rights issue, please join us and contact your legislators. And
I think it needs to be stated that a lot of people that I've encountered, because we have the low THC program, that they assume that we have a program, like a legitimate program, and that flower is part of the program. And so they automatically assume, or they'll say, oh, I have my card. I'm a patient, or I'm a medical patient in Mississippi, or I'm a patient in Florida or Alabama. We don't have like
Reciprocity.
Yeah, in
We
Georgia. And the card isn't going to help you if you have flour or gummies or a cartridge or a volcano. The card's only going to help for low THC oil.
That's a really big distinction. That should actually be like a talking point after that we pull out, because I mean, so many people I know assume, okay, they have a medical program, I'll be okay with this little joint. No, you still may go to jail if you're in the wrong place for this little treat.
Yeah.
So it's definitely important if you're going to be traveling to any state that has any type of a program to do your research on what they allow in those particular states before you even, go there. And I wish we did have reciprocity here in Georgia. It's something that I say it and I say it all the time. When I leave this state, my medical condition does not stay here. It goes with me. And so if we don't have reciprocity in the states where people can travel, then of course you think about it also from a financial standpoint. If people who are on using medical cannabis are not traveling to the states, think about the revenue that we're losing for different events we may have when people can't come, or people who do come, have the risk of being incarcerated or jailed because they're coming here, with their products knowing that we don't have a full robust program here.
We had a lady reach out to Peachtree Normal who came here. She was displaced because of the hurricane in North Carolina, and her medicine in North Carolina, she could have a vapor cartridge, and she ended up facing a felony in Georgia.
Wow.
Stuck.
Don't be shy to contact your local sheriff too and educate them.
There you go.
And, I ran into someone nefarious years ago who made a deal with his local sheriff that he could have these products. You know what I'm saying? So it's just conversation is important, and always.
And education is important too, especially with our law enforcement, sheriff, police. They need to be educated as well on this product, as well as our legislators, just to understand, what the product truly is, because of course there's such a stigma and a lack of understanding of what cannabis really does on a medical standpoint. They're just looking at it as a drug, and we see it as our medicine because it is.
Right.
And so that's something that's very important. It needs to continue. And we are doing that with GMCS, with our educational programs that we have for providers and for the community at large as well. So that's very important.
All right. And okay, since we started, we're going to be doing multiple these
sessions
and throughout the whole session. And what we're having on Monday is this session right here. We are actually having, I'm skipping over a whole lot of stuff, but we're actually having our Cannabis Unity Day. And it's Georgia Speaks, Cannabis Unity Day at the Capitol, Georgia Speaks. And you make sure you go to, our social media platforms, and you come on out, you can register and come on out and be a part and hear more details about the bills, hear from the sponsors of the great bills that we truly support, and some bills that may be introduced. You never know who might be there just to share some new insights and stuff about a bill. And so Georgia Speaks, make sure you go ahead and I'm adding it to our stream right now. Okay, let's get it. And for to receive, I'm talking. Y'all go ahead and talk. I'm sorry.
So what? And this is a question for the group, but how can people get involved? Right? People who are watching this, people who may come across this video. What is our call of action? What can we leave them with a task to do to help us move this ball forward?
I'm sorry.
Take a look at the bills that we have for one, but definitely reach out to your elected officials.
And is there a best way to do that? Is it by the phone? Is it by the email? What do you guys think?
I think make yourself seen and heard, and your presence felt is the most effective.
But the way for them to find would find their legislators, openstates.org. Go type in your address, not mine, not your grandma's, not your granny's. Type in your address. It'll tell you who your senator is and who your House rep is. Send them an email, find out their stance. Don't tell them your stance because they don't know. You don't show them your cards. That part. Find out where they stand, and then look at these bills and say, what do you think about House Bill 496?
And for people who are not well versed in these, I know it can be a lot and it's easy to go down the rabbit hole, but feel free to take these bills and put them in ChatGPT and ask them to explain it to you in clear layman's terms so you can actually understand what's going on. You can ask ChatGPT these things. I'm a very big advocate or using AI to help you navigate things, that may be a bug, because while we have a lot of experts in these bills, we need the masses to join in the fight to free the plant here in Georgia. And that's gonna take, it's different levels. So just make sure you get in on whatever level you feel most comfortable with and ask people the questions that you're unsure of.
Legislators are humans too, so just start those relationships.
And let me add a disclaimer to that about the Chat GPT and the bills. Make sure you read the bills first, because chat will fool you.
Yeah, anything AI related,
And I
you need
do
to
have-
follow up on it.
Coffee with a cop.
I do have a USAHempRevival.com is a resource I put together. If you can't remember anything else, you can go to find the bills as well, and you can find your legislator there as well.
And also your voter registration pages. When you go on to the Secretary of State website, where you to check your voter registration, which I do suggest everyone to go out and do that with the purging of the records and so forth. Please go out and make sure that you are still actively registered. But on those pages as well, it will show you who your representatives are for your particular districts. You will see it there too.
Okay.
And if you come Monday, we'll help you find your legislator.
But I'll put a disclaimer out there as well too. Reach out to the Georgia Medical Cannabis Society and come activate with us. So with our pressure squad. So that's another thing. So we'll be looking at advocacy and teaching advocacy as well, and working with the community on how to speak with your legislators and how to be able to advocate for yourself. It may not be cannabis. It may be something else that you want to advocate for, but that's where we will work with you on how to do that and how to have these conversations with your elected officials.
Absolutely.
And
You
also,
can call a number too.
and Peachtree Normal, before we get ready to close out, y'all are having an event. I'm trying to pull this up on Saturday. Y'all doing a virtual, and I hope that y'all have a tech person for it. I mean, I like I said, hey.
Yeah, it's difficult trying to navigate through it and talk to yourself.
Especially,
So pass it.
I did.
It's just saying that one
there.
Saturday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just virtual Zoom. Everybody can tune in and learn about what we're trying to do, which is mirror everything that you all are doing. So thank you all for having this.
Well, I think we're trying to do two other things though, right? We're also providing court support, right?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And so what that is, oftentimes folks are getting arrested for possession of marijuana and their family turns on them or they don't have family close by. And so we're providing support, right? Somebody to talk to help you, walk you through, and in some instances, somebody to come to the court, just to be in the stand or in the audience, just to make sure that, you don't feel alone, because it is a daunting process to have to go before a court. And we're not giving you legal advice, but we also have an attorney that we sometimes refer people to, right? Normal.
Decriminalization with Chris Brown.
That's right, Chris Brown. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot about
So
that.
it's not the Chris Brown that we're probably all thinking of, but this one is equally as important and as special to us in our hearts. But yeah, we are pushing to help decrim more and more localities around the state. So yeah, man, we're very excited for this. We almost had it in, where was that? Marietta or Woodstock?
Kennesaw.
City of Kennesaw.
Yes.
We need KSU.
Oh yeah.
We definitely need
KSU.
folks out there to come and help help decrim. We were one vote short on city council.
Wow.
So I mean, it actually passed. Then one of the members weren't there, so the mayor had a vote, and the mayor said no. So
Wow.
Kudos to the mayor.
Definitely.
So if you're like me, you don't like looking at screens and computers, you can call 404-656-5040 and not only, be guided to your legislator, but also ask about specific legislation. That's the Senate secretary. 404-656-5040. That's how you remember it. You sing it.
Okay.
all the tea, the good tea, the hot tea,
Yes.
green tea, spearmint tea,
What are you drinking?
whatever Miss Rosemary made for me.
Yvonne.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
The tea is amazing here.
Oh,
really
well, yeah,
is.
that might be her thing.
Coming up for the tea.
Look at you. So we're gonna try and hold up now, and we're gonna make this thing happen. We can go ahead and shut it down before we get put out of here.
All right, folks.
Yes,
thank you for tuning in.
It's a school night.
It is a school night.
Yay.
All right, then.
Thank you, Yolanda.
All right, then.
Yay.
Since you all haven't been listening to us, we're turning the volume up. This is pressure.
You only hear us when it's trending, when the culture's hot, when it pays.
And I want to shout out Best Dirty Lemonade. By far the best infused lemonade I've ever had, all flavors. And that's just my personal experience. I work at a dispensary, so I know all about the different THC drinks. And by far the best tasting one. And you definitely feel the effect. So shout out to the Best Dirty Lemonade, the best infused drink on the market right now. And we are at Spellhouse Homecoming 2025. Shout out to y'all. My name is Justin Buck, owner of Pearl Rolling Papers. See y'all soon.
You doing great, Best Dirty Lemonade.
Versatile, not a talking point you use for a day.